Hey everyone, welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into a beautiful and emotional Bible story, the story of Hannah. It's a story about faith, prayer, and trusting in God's timing, and I think it will touch your heart. If you're ever feeling discouraged or waiting for an answer to your prayers, this story is for you. So, let's get started.
In a small village in Israel, there was a woman named Hannah. Now, Hannah had a loving husband named Elkanah, but her life wasn't easy. She had a deep sadness that she carried with her every day. You see, Hannah wanted something that so many women of her time longed for. She wanted to be a mother. But despite her prayers and her hope, she couldn't have children. But Hannah had a strong faith in God and didn't give up hope. Year after year, she continued to pray and wait. To make matters worse, Hannah wasn't Elkanah's only wife. He had another wife named Peninnah, who had many children. And Peninnah wasn't kind to Hannah. She would often mock and provoke her, reminding her of her childlessness. This made things even harder for Hannah. She was already struggling with her pain, and now she had to deal with constant teasing and hurtful words. But through it all, Hannah remained silent. She didn't lash out or fight back. Instead, she took all of her pain to God. Every year, Elkanah's family would travel to a place called Shiloh to worship and offer sacrifices to God. And every year, Hannah would go with them, carrying her sorrow with her. But one year, something changed. During one of these trips, Hannah couldn't hold back her emotions any longer. She went into the temple and poured out her heart to God in prayer. With tears streaming down her face, she made a vow. She said,
"Lord, if you will give me a son, I will give him back to you for all the days of his life."
Her prayer was so intense that her lips were moving, but no sound came out. This caught the attention of the priest, Eli, who was watching her from a distance. Eli saw her and misunderstood what was happening. He thought she was drunk because of how she was silently praying. So, he approached her and said,
"How long are you going to stay drunk? Put away your wine."
"No, my lord. I'm not drunk. I'm just deeply troubled and pouring out my soul to the Lord."
When Eli realized his mistake, he blessed her and said,
"Go in peace, and may God grant your request."
Can you imagine being in such deep pain that even the priest misunderstood you? Hannah was so focused on her prayer, on pouring out her soul to God, that she didn't care what others thought. This is a beautiful reminder that when we are hurting, we can go directly to God and be honest with Him about our feelings. After that encounter, Hannah left the temple feeling lighter, with a sense of peace in her heart. And in time, God answered her prayer. She gave birth to a son and named him Samuel, which means God has heard. Imagine the joy in Hannah's heart as she held her child. All those years of waiting, crying, and hoping, and now she had her precious son. But Hannah didn't forget the promise she made to God. When Samuel was old enough, Hannah did something that many of us might find difficult. She brought him back to the temple, just as she had promised, and gave him to Eli, the priest. She said,
"For this child, I prayed, and the Lord has granted my request. Now, I give him to the Lord for his whole life."
Hannah kept her promise, even though it meant giving up her precious child. But she knew that Samuel was meant for a special purpose, and she trusted God's plan for his life. Hannah's faith wasn't just about asking God for what she wanted, it was also about trusting Him with the things that mattered most to her. Sometimes, when God blesses us, we're called to let go of something precious and trust that He will use it for His greater purpose. After giving Samuel to the Lord, Hannah's heart was full of gratitude. She lifted a beautiful song of praise, saying,
"My heart rejoices in the Lord, there is no one holy like the Lord."
Hannah's story doesn't end in sadness, it ends in joy. She went on to have more children, but Samuel remained special. He grew up to be a great prophet, one of Israel's greatest leaders, all because of Hannah's faith and dedication. So what can we learn from Hannah's story? It's a powerful reminder that God hears our prayers, even when we feel alone or misunderstood. Hannah never stopped praying, even in the face of heartache, and she trusted God's timing completely. If you're in a season of waiting, like Hannah was, remember this: God sees your heart. He hears your prayers, and in His perfect time, He will answer. Sometimes, that answer comes in ways we don't expect, but it always comes with a purpose.
Thank you for joining me today to hear Hannah's story. If this message touched your heart, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring Bible stories. You can buy our Grace and Gratitude Journal on Amazon through the link in the description. And remember, no matter what you're going through, God is with you and hears your prayers. See you next time.